It's now day 3 of the 2017 season, and we're very hard at work. We've had some rain this morning, but that's died off, so everybody's hard at work. And what we're doing this year is a mix of continuation from work we started last year, but also some new directions, the most important of which I guess is Mont Saint-Jean, up on the ridge, where we're working with SPW on a site that's going to be given over to a new roundabout. And that work's ongoing, so we've got 2 separate sites. But down here at Hougoumont, we've got work continuing in the courtyard. We started that last year with Phil's trench. We've now got 3 trenches going on down here, and they're all coming up with evidence for buildings that were around the sides of the courtyard.
But it's been really interesting because of we've been looking a lot at the historic maps of the courtyard, and none of the maps are currently matching up with the foundations of the buildings that we've got, so we're sort of rewriting that bit of history at the moment. And it's been a little bit complicated, but we'll get there by the end of the week.
It's challenging, but it's really interesting because what it will do is allow us to basically, or you, to virtually rebuild those structures in the correct places. And we'll have a much better understanding as to how this part of the farm was defended, especially against the incursion through the North Gate when the French got inside the courtyard, because it wasn't as it is now. There were buildings overlooking that smaller area that men could obviously fire down into.
2 separate courtyards as well,
yeah,
and covered ways and all sorts of things. It was way more cramped than it is now, and so it's going to be quite interesting to be able to reconstruct that.
And we're continuing work outside in the killing zone, which is that open area just in front of the garden wall, which was heavily fought over. And we've been focusing on the eastern end, and we've got evidence for really heavy fighting. A lot of British stroke Allied musket balls and French musket balls and flints from muskets. And given that we've got James working inside the garden, on the other side of the wall, it looks as though that might be a place where the French actually got inside over the wall somehow to continue to fight in the garden, which again is really quite new history that the archaeology is bringing to light.
And that kind of makes sense that they'd be attacking the corner,
yeah,
right, and kind of climbing over both sides at the same time.
It's a weak spot, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
we've also moved our detectors to what's known as the Little Orchard, which is at the back where there was no wall, just a hedge. And between the holloway and that old hedge line, we've now started to come up with more evidence for a firefight. And again, that's all new information. So there's a lot of really exciting stuff going on.